Hi everybody, welcome back to Laura A Vlogs. I wanted to do this video. I was just thinking about how a lot of us who have been in long-term relationships or even short-term relationships always have a moment of difficulty of letting go of people in our lives. And unfortunately, it's hard. It is very, very hard. And so a lot of times you become afraid of the unknown because you become so accustomed of being with someone in your life. It could be someone within your household or someone that you haven't even met. You become so afraid of not being with someone or talking to that person because you were so accustomed to the energies of that person, whether it's good energies or toxic energies. You become very codependent on that person because of the fact that you didn't want to feel alone. And it becomes really scary when that person no longer exists in your life. You have that sense of grief that hurts your soul to the point that you feel like you can't seem to get over it. And you don't know how to get over it. So it becomes a sense of, you're afraid of the unknown. And so I'm going to say I'm one of those people too, that you could be with a partner for a very long time and you think you know that person very well and you realize you really didn't know anything about that person. And you become very heartbroken, very discontent, not emotionally fulfilled. And the toxicity of the relationship becomes really out of control. But yes, sometimes, as humans, we become knuckleheads. We want to make things work, make things, to say, we could make this work, we could do it, because of the fact that you don't want to be alone, or you become accustomed to the toxicity of the relationship. And so it just gets out of control because you're afraid, okay, well, if I leave this person, then what is there left? And so that becomes another problem. Because now you've become, your mindset starts becoming very toxic of, well, if I'm alone, I'm not going to be happy. And that's the illusion you create in your mind, is that, oh, I'm not going to be happy if I'm alone. And a lot of times people tend to do is like when you leave one relationship, and you don't take that time to decompress from that relationship and think about what made that relationship fail and correct your own behaviors and understand the aspect of why these things happened, by sweeping that pain and that heartbreak, you sweep it under the rug, then you create more problems for yourself. Because right away you're thinking, well, I don't want to be alone, I'm already alone, I don't want to deal with this pain, I don't want to get through it. And not only you try to go back to that partner, that toxic partner, that the relationship didn't work, but then you become a serial dater, or you become involved with other people too, because of the fact that you're trying to hide that pain. And so you start getting yourself involved with other people that you don't even know who they are too. Could be good or bad. It's it's the luck of the draw. And you become so accustomed of not, becoming self-sufficient on your own, that you create new problems for yourself and the people around that you are involved with. Because you're afraid of the unknown. You are afraid to not taking your time in your life to get to know yourself as an individual. And so by you creating new problems, not just dating multiple people that you don't even know if they're good for you or not, because you're too consumed of not seeing the full picture, because you want to go by the illusion, oh, she's hot, he's hot, or she has a hot body, or she comes from a good background, that she has money, or he has money, or the facade of the illusion of that person has to be the perfect one, because just by looking that person, you don't know where that person's going to take you. Because a lot of people, in this world, they come in good and bad. That person who has that hot body and really good looking could be your devil. I always say that there's succubus and incubus in this world, and people laugh at me because they think I'm crazy, but that's the reality of it. Just because I'm saying, oh, succubus and incubus, they're thinking, oh, she's seeing devil and that. No, it's carrying the energies of the devil in that person. And so when you fall in love with people who are really good looking, or has a hot body, or may have money, they claim they have money, because sometimes, a lot of them will say, yeah, I got money, but then the fat broke. And all they want to do is suck out your money. Then what? You fell into a trap. And so you create new problems for yourself. And by you creating these problems for yourself, what happens is that you be consumed with pain, more pain. The pain keeps building, because you not only can't let go things of the past with past relationships, and now you create a new pain for yourself, because you didn't take the time to let that pain of whatever, it could be childhood, relationship wise, work wise, it doesn't matter. By you not taking the time of decompressing and getting to know yourself and getting involved with different relationships, no matter what walks of life these people come from, you created is your own hell, your own personal hell. And so what happens is that a lot of times people want to blame others. Oh, well, this person did this to me, or that person did that to me. And not reflecting on what the hell did you do for these people to come at me? What? Because a lot of times people don't want to take accountability about their own behaviors. It's easy pointing the finger to others. It's very easy. But what did you do to create this situation? And this is where, where people need to have that time of being alone for a while. And take not only accountability of yourself in your own behavior. Yeah, it's easy to point the finger at that other person, because believe me, I've done it too. But I also take accountability of why I let these things happen. why these individuals that creeped in my life let me become who I am now. Why did I let myself be persuaded in things that I wasn't comfortable in? So I take those accountabilities of learning these things about myself and what ways I could protect myself better. Because believe me, I'm still learning. And so I think it's very important to just go into the unknown and just not being involved. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm a person that I only married once in my life. I don't use marriage like the rest of America does. They use it like a toilet paper. You know, it's just like you wipe yourself. Oh, it's dirty, throw it out. I'm very serious when it comes to commitment. But I'm not going to let just any individual come into my life and say, you know what, I love you, look beautiful, and I want to marry you, and we're going to make things happen. Because I've heard these lines so many times. I became so desensitized. At first, I fell for it first. I'm not going to lie. But after a while, you just say, you know what? No. And so I rather stay alone, not be in a relationship with people. Yeah, I'll talk to that individual. But if I continuously hear the same shit over and over and over, that repetitive crap that these characters like to bring out, make it seem like they're saying something that is coming from a new world, and that they're providing you something in the relationship which is nothing, then you need to cut those individuals off and get to know yourself more and love yourself more, and not be afraid to be alone. Because you know what? I am very content of who I am. I don't mind sleeping in my bed by myself. And if I decide to be involved with someone, it will be on my own terms, whether I want to be in a relationship or not. Because you know what? I'm single, and I'm entitled to do whatever I feel like doing, and not giving a shit what anybody thinks. Oh, she's single. Oh, she's whoring around. Who the hell are you to judge? Who the hell are you to judge? Because at least I don't lie to people. I'm going to say, yeah, if you want to get together, we get together. As long as that other person is single, and that we're both on the same page, and that we are pretty much honest with each other, not hiding behind bullshit. If I decide that I want to sleep with somebody, I'll do it. There's not a ring. I might have this ring, but there's no rings around me to tell me differently. And the day that I get a ring on my finger, then things change to a whole different level. That then I could say, okay, now I'm committed to somebody, that I'm promising that I'm going to stay committed. In the meantime, I'm not committed to anybody, only to myself and my own happiness, and not worried about whether that person's, doesn't matter who they are, they're going to give me false hope. Because you know what? I'm not afraid to be alone. I really am not. Already it's been 3 years that I've been living on my own with my children. And I still fight every single day to stay happy. I've cried a lot of times, yes. But, that process, it has helped me to think about things that I want to change. And it has helped me to make corrections on those mistakes that I made in my life. And so it has me sitting in this platform, trying to get you guys to think about your own lives. I'm not trying to tell you how you should live your life, because everyone has their own individual way of living. And I respect that. But by me sharing my experience to you guys and help you maybe some sort of way to think about, well, I remember when this person screwed me over. It's not so much to get revenge back at that person, because it has nothing to do with revenge. It has to do is how not to be afraid of changing. And if you are single or coming out of a relationship that it was long term and it was very difficult and very heartbreaking, yes, it is scary to be on your own. I'm not gonna lie, it is scary. But at the end of it all, you get past that and you focus on other things. Not worry about that individual, whomever that may be. And refocus on yourself and your own goals, how you want to be in your life, internally and physically. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be that type of person that you serial date just because you want to avoid the pain of being alone. Because the rest of America, they love jumping into bed with others, thinking that you're going to get that sexual gratification, and thinking that you're going to get the one. And all you're doing is creating a lot of mess. Not just physically, but emotionally. And you don't even know what type of person you're getting into bed with, because you know what? That person may look hot physically, or that woman looks really beautiful. She looks pristine, but she could be carrying a good STD to go with it and give you that STD, or he may give you the STD. And then guess what? Now you got yourself a whole new problem that now you can't even get involved with people, because you just were afraid of looking into yourself, of who you really are, and are afraid of making changes. So people, please, I know these topics are very heavy. I know. But I think these are really to be discussed. You could be very young, in your teens, 20s, 30s, or you could be in my age, and still people creating these type of mistakes in their lives, because age does not have restrictions when it comes to inappropriate behaviors towards others. You could come from a different world of people, but my main focus is that, you know what? Take that time, get to know yourself. Make those changes within yourself. Get to know who you are. Because you know what? By you digging in deep into that pain and releasing it, and acceptance. Because you know what? The biggest thing is acceptance that, yeah, it did happen. Yes, it did suck. But then you have to let it go. Letting it go and be at peace. That is true success. That is really going into the unknown. Alrighty, so that's pretty much the message I wanted to bring out. And yes, I will be bringing these heavy topics, but I think what is important is that it's not so much of me saying I'm right and you guys are wrong, because it has nothing to do with that. It has to do of changing perspectives of how you see the world. And sometimes we're so busy in focusing of what's going on in our world now and the noise around us, that we tend to forget who we are as people. And so this is where I want to, you know, pretty much share my life in how I see the world, to remind you guys that, hey, you know, there are things outside that are distracting us, but guess what? You have to make that time for yourself too. Make that time for yourself to know who you really are and what you want to do and who you want to become. And and not be afraid of change. Alrighty, so thank you for viewing my content, and I will definitely see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.